Mr. Munger, you've spoken about the importance of avoiding mental biases in decision-making. In your experience, what's the most challenging bias to overcome, and how do you personally guard against it?
Well, if I had to name one factor that dominates human bad decisions, it would be what I call denial. If the truth is unpleasant enough, people their mind plays tricks on them, and they think it isn't really happening. And of course, that causes enormous destruction of business, where people go on throwing money into the way they used to do things, even though it isn't going to work at all well in the way the world is now, having changed. And if you want an example of how denial is affecting things, take the world of investment management. How many managers are going to beat the indexes, all costs considered? I would say maybe 5% can consistently beat the averages. Everybody else is living in a state of extreme denial. They're used to charging big fees and so forth for stuff that isn't doing their clients any good. It's a deep moral depravity. If some widow comes to you with $500,000 and you charge her 1 point a year and you could put her in the indexes, but you need the 1 point. And so people just charge some widow, a considerable fee for worthless advice. And the whole profession is full of that kind of denial. It's everywhere. So I had to say, and that was, I always quote Demosthenes. It was a long time ago, Demosthenes. That's more than 2,000 years ago. And he said, what people wish is what they believe. Think of how much of that goes on. And so of course it's hugely important. And you can just see it. I would say the agency costs in money management, there are just so many billions, it's uncountable. And nobody can face it. Who wants to keep your kids in school? You need the fees, you need the brokerage commissions, you need this or that. So you do what's good for you and bad for them. Now, I don't think Berkshire does that. And I don't think Garen and I did it at the Daily Journal. Garen and I never took a dime in salary or director's fees or anything. And if I have business I talk on my phone or use my car, I don't charge it to the Daily Journal. That's unheard of. It shouldn't be unheard of. And it goes on in Berkshire, and it goes on in the Daily Journal. But we have an incentive plan now in this Journal Technologies. And it has $1 million worth of Daily Journal stock. That did not come from the company issuing those shares. I gave those shares to the company to use in compensating the employees. And I learned that trick, so to speak, from the guy at BYD, which is one of the securities we hold in our securities portfolio. And BYD, at one time in its history, the founder chairman, he didn't use the company's stock to reward the executives. He used his own stock. It was a big reward, too. Well, last year, what happened? BYD last year made more than $2 billion after taxes in the auto business in China. Who in the hell makes $2 billion who's a brand new entrant really in the auto business for all practical purposes? It's incredible what's happened. And so there is some of this old-fashioned capitalist virtue left in the Daily Journal, and there's some left in Berkshire Hathaway, and there's some left in BYD. But most places, everybody's trying to take what they need and just rationalizing whether it's deserved or not.